Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Welcome especially if you're new, but also welcome back to any of you who've been here before. If you enjoy talking about movies and, seeing reviews and things like that, be sure to subscribe. I post usually 2 or 3 videos a week, just reviewing the movies that I see in theaters. So with that, let's jump on into this review. I just got back from seeing Father Stu in the theater, so let's talk about it. So this movie follows the life of Father Stuart Long. He's a boxer turned priest who inspired countless people during his journey from self-destruction to redemption. So my anticipation level going into this movie was, I would say it was moderate. Like I was aware of the movie, I'd seen some of the trailers, but I've also seen that like I didn't see this opening weekend. I did actually check the Rotten Tomatoes score, and I saw that it was sitting around I think 50%. So I kind of checked my expectations, but was interested to see it. I like Mark Wahlberg as an actor, so usually I'm pretty interested to see anything that he's in. And yeah, this looks like it could be an interesting enough story. So yeah, with that, let's get into what I thought about the movie. And first up, let's just talk about the things that I liked. And I think the first thing that comes to mind is how the movie, how it depicts Catholicism. I thought they did a pretty good job of making it be a pretty realistic take on Catholicism. Obviously, I mean, I'm Catholic, so I can kind of evaluate it from that point of view, and I think they do a good job of representing Catholicism throughout the movie, and I don't think there was anything terribly misleading or misconstrued, just kind of from a general sense of things, not necessarily saying, all the events in it are true. I know it's based on a true story. I haven't really done the research, though, as to what, if any, kind of liberties they took within the story of the film. But generally speaking, though, I thought that was well done, because sometimes movies don't really quite get it right, or they're just kind of incomplete with their depiction of it. But yeah, and then kind of following up on that, I thought the characters were all pretty well realized. Like they all felt like very real people, and not just characters within a movie. So that goes for Father Stu, and then especially both his parents, and then Carmen as well are kind of the main characters. But everyone else as well, the other seminarians and that sort of thing. So I thought it really did just feel like very realistic characters. Not quite to the level where it was like it didn't feel like a documentary, but it felt like these were people and not characters. So I thought it did a great job with that. And then I thought Mark Wahlberg did a very good job. Like he kind of his character goes through a lot in this film. So I'm not sure exactly, what level of, especially for the body transformation, as this character has to deal with things. I don't really want to go into the specifics of the story, but the yeah, I'm curious to see what if they just used special effects, or if Mark Wahlberg, what his especially like his workout routine was going into this, and like throughout the filming. But yeah, that aside though, I thought he acted very well. There's definitely a few scenes where it requires a lot of emotion and that sort of thing, and I thought he played that very well, and believably. And then I thought the music it didn't like stand out or anything, but I thought it fit the tone of the movie. It's kind of a bit more laid back and not really in your face or thematic. So I thought that just helped set the mood throughout the movie, and that sort of thing. But those are kind of the things that I liked about the film. For the things that I didn't care for as much, there's pretty much only one, and that's the third act. I thought it was a little slow for a third act, especially coming off of the first 2 acts. And it definitely, by the end of the movie, it did feel just a little too long. I think they could have probably trimmed off maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and it would have felt like a better movie that way. But it's not that the third act is bad. It's just, I think, with the nature of the story, that one was kind of it was the least engaging, at least for me. Maybe part of that was the person in the seat, like 2 seats away from me, he was like dozing off, on and off throughout the entire film, but that was more so in the third act. So maybe that speaks to the third act, or maybe he was just terribly tired. But he was yeah, definitely falling and starting to snore. So like having that distraction kind of took me a little bit out of it. So I will kind of put a little asterisk on there that maybe my enjoyment of it or my interest, starting to, you know, withdraw in that third act might have been due to that slight distraction. But yeah, the overall though, I thought the first two acts were paced very well, especially the first act. But yeah, so there's nothing like standing out as far as like cinematography or anything like that. It's a nice enough looking film, but I'd say pretty standard. And yeah, no super high positives. I'd say other than I think Mark Wahlberg did a very good job of the character, but yeah, no real negatives. I think yeah, kind of to wrap things up, the like for my overall thoughts, I thought this was giving it a letter grade from S, A, B, C, and D. I'd put this in a low B. Like it was an interesting enough film, not one that I'd say like yeah that was a good film, but it was interesting enough, and it was certainly higher than just kind of a meh film. Although it's kind of yeah in that gray area between meh and good. So it was for me. I thought it was worth the watch, but certainly not something that I think I would look to watch again. So I think I would be interested to see how kind of accessible the movie is to non-Catholics. I think like for how much they explain. Like I grew up Catholic, so a lot of the stuff I just kind of know. So I'm curious, what parts of the story maybe aren't accessible, or if there are, jokes that are made. I feel like there is definitely a lot of the humor comes from just the a bit of knowledge that's required there. So yeah, if I'd be curious to hear anyone's thoughts that saw the movie. Overall, it's not one that I'd strongly recommend. I wouldn't discourage anyone though from going to see it either. So it's yeah, I would say if you're interested in it, go check it out. If not, I probably would say go check out some other things. But yeah, that kind of brings this review to a close. Yeah, if you've seen the movie, definitely share your thoughts in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you thought about it and what your experience was with the film. Otherwise, if you liked this review, be sure to smash the like button. And with that, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next review.